What is up, Libra? How are you guys doing? It's time to go ahead and knock out your mid-month messages for September 2023. Basically, what I'm looking for here is to see if there was a change of timelines. Let me adjust my camera a little bit here. There we go. Is that better? All right. So for those of you who would like to schedule a personal reading, all the information on how to go about doing that is in the description box of this video. Don't forget about the big sale that's still happening until the end of September. Pre-recorded personal readings are $50 off. That's to celebrate my 5 years reading tarot on YouTube. All right, let's just jump right into this. I'm doing these a little bit different for those of you who haven't caught any of the mid-month videos yet. Starting this off with a past, present, future. Past, present, future, and we're just going to go with whatever comes through the most. I'll be 100% honest with you. For every single sign so far, the past came through. But you never know. So we're just going to see what comes through the heaviest. Past, present, future for Libra universe. Let's see. Quick past, present, future. What do we got here? Ooh, some of you dealing with a Virgo possibly. Hang on a second. All right. Okay, the Hangman reversed. Judgment reversed. Six of Swords. Lover's card reversed. So you connected with somebody in the past, and I'm feeling like somebody here was mainly just entering into this connection because they didn't want to be alone. You know, like with the Six of Swords here, the person you're dealing with was probably fresh out of a breakup. Or even if they weren't fresh out of a breakup, they were still going through the transition and having a very difficult time being alone. When the two of you came together with the Lover's card reversed here, there was something off about this connection. What I'm thinking that it is that this person never even really took the time to truly, genuinely connect with you. With the Judgment reversed as well. I don't know if they formed a real, true, solid connection. They just wanted to jump into something because they didn't want to be alone. And I'm kind of feeling a lot of back and forth energy here, where you would go back and forth from, you know, you feel real good about this, things are going well. Then maybe the next day, you're not so sure. Then the next day, oh, no, I was just imagining that. Things are going good. Then the next day, you know, back and forth and back and forth. It just, things weren't consistent energetically. On an energetic level, I think, you know, you were very, very convinced that this is my person. We're meant to be together. But then it would flip-flop to the opposite end of the spectrum. And it just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Because, you know, really, truly connecting with someone on a heart-to-heart level is no joke. That's no joke. And it's something you can't fake. You can try to fake it, which lots of people do. And, you know, you can put on a really good show that might be temporarily believable. But it doesn't last long. It's like a house of cards, dude. You know, could be a Gemini for some of you. Got Gemini and Virgo here. Coming up into the present moment, there's an open door of opportunity to try to clear the air. And I'm wondering, I'm going to have to see the actions here in a minute. I'm wondering if somebody's going to try to clear the air here very soon, or if that's already happened currently. I might have to clarify this because 5 of Wands reversed, 6 of Wands upright. That's weird. Let me clarify that. What is that? What's that all about? 7 of Pentacles. Ah, see, you're determining that it's a waste of time. Could be a Cancer for some of you. But we have that 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. I'm kind of feeling like clearing the air is being contemplated. But one thing that I've been noticing here throughout this month of September, this insanely intense retrograde season we've all been going through, is everybody collectively has kind of been sharing one thing in common. Lots and lots and lots of people are putting their foot down, not playing no more games, not putting up with no bullshit. And it's that heavy Virgo energy with the Mercury retrograde in Virgo, and and Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, and all this energy has got just almost everybody at the end of their rope. So I'm kind of feeling like even if you leading up to this point were really wanting to clear the air with this person, some of you were, some of you weren't, but even those of you who were, one day you wake up and realize, no, I'm not, no, don't have time for games. That's that Virgo energy. Don't have time for games. No nonsense, no bullshit. Yeah. And it's just a big fat, like, no, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time, and it's a disrespect to myself, So you might clear the air with them, but as far as actually reconciling with somebody, actually, some of you may not even go as far as clearing the air. What's happening in the future here? What's happening? The devil card. Hierophant. Okay. So in the future, I am kind of, oh, yeah. See, I feel like you are going to reconnect with this person in the future. I don't think it's a full-on reconciliation, though. I don't think so. This is another thing that I've seen come through for not every sign, but several of them. You get a chance to reconnect with somebody from the past, and that reconnection makes a light bulb come on in your head. And you, like, whatever lesson you were supposed to learn from that experience, as soon as you connect with this person, that lesson and that wisdom from that experience all comes rushing in at once. Just connecting with them, whether you go out and have coffee with them, or you bump into them at the grocery store and have a 2-minute conversation, whatever it is, however you end up bumping into this person or connecting with them, all the wisdom and the knowledge from that experience of going through all that with that person all comes rushing in at once. The devil card. And you see them for who they really are. Let's look at their energy and their intentions. The signs I have on the table are Capricorn, Cancer, Gemini, and Virgo. Let's look at this person's energy and intentions. How do they feel about you? What's their energy look like? What are their intentions at the deepest level? And 5 of Cups reversed. So they are getting over this. Keyword getting, meaning they're not 100% over it yet, but they are working on getting over this. So they still feel karmically tied to you. They're doing the best they can to detach themselves from this and play it off and pretend they don't care, but they still feel a karmic tie with you. See, at the deepest level, if they could rub a lamp and have a genie pop out and grant them a wish, they would wish for a successful reconciliation with you. They would, at the deepest level. At the deepest level. But with this 7 of Swords energy right here, good luck getting them to admit to that. I don't think they're going to admit to that. They do want to talk to you, though. But I don't think they want to talk to you to really, truly open up and genuinely connect. They want to talk to you with the 7 of Swords energy. Paint a false picture in your mind. Just keep adding to all the bullshit. And you see that happen a lot. 2 people break up, and then they get a chance to talk to each other later on down the line. And there's usually at least one person who's lying about their whole life. Like say you broke up with somebody 6 months ago, and then the 2 of you come together and you're talking 6 months later. There's very frequently at least one person that tells a complete and total bullshit lie about the last 6 months. Oh man, I've been doing great, done got promoted at work, this, that, and then they paint up this big old elaborate story that's a complete and total lie. It all comes back to the same point every time. I don't want you to know how bad this has sucked. Because if you knew how bad this sucked, that would give you power over me. Oh, we're on the past person. Let me put the banner up there. Sorry about that. Well, let's see if they're taking action. I feel like I could be wrong, but I'm feeling like they're probably going to end up showing up in your inbox at some point with that Page of Swords. What actions are they taking and what's the outcome? Actions and outcome, same spread. Ace of Wands reverse. Well, they're taking their sweet ass time. They're moving super, super slow. Five of Pentacles. So yeah, they're headed your way very, very slowly. But I do think they are going to orchestrate some sort of plan for the two of you to end up reconnecting somehow. And the outcome is, I think you're going to walk away from this with more questions than answers. And usually when that happens, you know why that happens? When you walk away with more questions than answers, because you already know the answers to the questions. You already know. Usually that's a result of overthinking someone's motives and intentions. Some people just aren't that deep. They just aren't. And we air signs, I'm an air sign too, have a tendency of, because, you know, we can tend to go pretty deep mentally, you know, and we sometimes tend to have a habit of assuming that there's always more than what meets the eye. Sometimes there is, but sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's not more than what meets the eye. Believe it or not. There are times where you see somebody who's just so simple and shallow because that's as deep as they go. And I'm kind of feeling like that's what you're dealing with here. And if you start overthinking this person's motives and intentions, then you're going to walk away with way more questions than answers. Let me see the advice here. What's the advice? Strength card reversed. Oh, and the Two of Cups reversed. So this is saying, if you still feel vulnerable, don't connect with this person if you can help it. Wait it out. Wait it out a little bit. That's what this is saying. And you know me, I like to try to meet you in the middle. That's a tough one, dude. That one's tough. That one's real tough. I think I'm going to go with that. I don't think I can bend that advice, because when you're still feeling weak and vulnerable towards somebody, it's really, 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 really hard to keep your guard up. You want to believe what comes out of their mouth. You want to hear, like if they're telling you what you want to hear, you want to believe it when you're in that weak, vulnerable state. You want to believe that. So I would wait it out a little bit. I would meditate on this a little bit more. Get your head on straight. And once you feel like you have your head on straight, you're thinking logically and not emotionally, then maybe connect with this person. but don't try to overthink their motives. I don't think this person's that complex and complicated. It's very simple. Very, very, very simple. I don't want you to have power over me. It's very simple. I wouldn't try to overthink their motives and intentions. Let's look at the next person coming in. Who is the next person coming in? What's the situation look like energetically? Eight of Swords reversed. You are very intently looking for red flags, aren't you? Queen of Wands, too. Yup. Oh, man. And we got these two kings reversed here. So I do think this person's probably going to try to run some kind of game on you. So here's the trouble. Here's the trouble. On an energetic and spiritual level, this connection is insanely intense. Coupled with you putting your foot down and refusing to play games. Now, that can be a dangerous combination, because if you put your foot down and you're just determined, I'm not putting up with no bullshit, I'm not putting up with no games, not playing, and couple that with a really insanely intense connection, that could make tension build very, very quickly. Very quickly. And it won't take long at all for you to catch one little whiff of bullshit, mind games, and you're going to explode. Where if you didn't feel all that connected with somebody, you might be able to just kind of brush it under the rug a little bit. Not like ignore it, but just not react to it. Not say nothing, you know how there's those times where somebody's lying to you and they think you believe them, but you really don't. You know they're lying, but just to keep the peace, you keep your mouth shut and just play along, just to avoid drama sometimes. Well, this is one of those types of situations where if the connection is strong enough, you might not be able to keep your mouth shut. That might add to the fuel and add to the anger and make you even more pissed off, Kind of what I'm seeing here, man. I ain't gonna lie. Could be a Gemini for some of you. And I can't steer around this one. Somebody, one, the other, or both of you, is bringing negative past vibrational baggage into this connection. That always comes through, dude. 99% of the time that comes through. All right, let's see this person's real motives, energy, intentions, and feelings. Let's see. What do they really want? What do they want with you? How do they see you? How do they feel about you? Okay, Judgment. Oh, the Five of Swords. I'm not a real big fan of that energy, man. That's the sister card to the Seven of Swords. So let's talk about the Five of Swords real quick. So the dude in this card right here is very, very determined. Nothing wrong with that. But behind that determination, it's not below him to do something very, very shady to get what he wants. A person of integrity is going to be very determined, but they're going to take the high road. I'm going to get what I want, but I'm not going to be dishonest about it. I'm going to get what I want as honestly as I can. And that can very frequently be the hardest path you can take. Five of Swords is I'm going to get what I want, and I don't care what I have to do to get it. I don't care who I have to lie to, who I have to cheat, who I have to steal from, who I have to manipulate. I don't like that. I don't like that. The Strength card. So they're holding their feelings back. So I do think they have pretty strong feelings for you. But with the Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, Strength card, they're holding back. They want to just kind of hang back and talk to you while they see where this is going. Page of Cups. Okay. That Five of Swords. I don't really like that, man. I don't really like that. But again, it kind of always circles around back to the same point where that Five of Swords energy, I don't think is organic. Meaning it didn't stem from a bad place. Now, that doesn't mean that this person's not capable of doing bad things. I'm talking about at the very, very deepest pit of the soil, the seed was not a bad seed. Now, it might have bloomed and turned into something bad, but it didn't come from a bad place. So this one's kind of rocky. And you feel it too. You feel it because you're looking for it. I think you're going into it looking for it. That can be a little bit questionable sometimes too. And it's kind of hard not to, especially when you've been fucked over so many times. It's hard not to. So I get it. I totally get it. But I kind of feel like some of you are looking very intently for red flags. You may even be overlooking all the good just to look for a red flag. And if you do that, it ain't going to take long for you to find one. It ain't going to take you long at all. Let's see the outcome of the situation for the first month. Outcome for the first month of the next person coming in. Two more. Page of Swords. Okay, like I said, I think there's going to be more of a talking phase in the beginning than anything. 10 of Pentacles. Superficial level connection. I don't think you're extending or accepting a love offer. I don't think you are. I think you're taking things very, very slowly. But another thing that I'm kind of seeing here is that you might accidentally take it to the extreme and get to the point where you're so up in your head about it that you might end up by the end of the month not really feeling much of a connection at all, because you're doing what you should do. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but you're taking it a little bit to the extreme. Like really, really, really logical, analytical, and really overthinking this and really looking for anything that may be off. And again, you should. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm not saying stick your head in the sand and just blindly trust somebody you barely know. But what I'm saying is, sometimes we need to kind of keep things in a bit of a balance. Okay, you always want to look for intention. Discovering somebody's intentions, that takes time. Okay, because intentions are behind your words. They're behind your actions. Intentions are buried very, very deep. And usually to be able to if you're looking to study somebody's intentions, that can sometimes take some weeks and months. Maybe you'll even see somebody do or say something shady. Okay. Noted. Well, I'm going to observe you a little bit deeper. I'm going to observe you in multiple different situations and scenarios to see if these things that you're doing are coming from a bad place or just a lost, confused, and broken place. So things are moving kind of slow, and you might end up, by the time October rolls around, Libra season, you might end up feeling like you're not feeling quite as strong of a connection as you would like to. What's the advice? What's the advice? 3 of Cups. Don't forget to have fun. Don't forget to get out and have some fun with them, you know. Judgment reversed. Hold off on judging the situation. High Priestess. Hold off on judging the situation. Like I said, what we want to do is we want to figure out the person's intentions. This is one thing. I don't know how much y'all have been following me or how much you know about me, but I make it a strong point to try to hammer on topics that don't get brought up much in the spiritual community that are very important. And that's one of them that I don't hear get the coverage that it should. Intentions. Now, intentions don't excuse shitty behavior. It just brings a broader understanding. So if somebody does a bad thing and it doesn't come from a bad place, that doesn't excuse the bad thing they did, but it gives you a broader understanding of why the bad thing happened. So if you choose to, which you don't have to put up with anything. But if you choose to work through this, you'll have a better and clearer understanding of how to go about fixing the problem. See, that's one of the biggest problems is that, you know, we connect with somebody, whether it's friend, romance, or whatever, and they do something shady, they do something shitty. And, you know, the first thing we do is we condemn the action when not understanding the vibration that ended up influencing and leading to that action, which very frequently, from what I've witnessed, I'm only one human, but from what I've witnessed, the majority of the time, 60 to 70% of the time, isn't coming from a bad place. It's coming from a lost, broken, and confused place. Again, doesn't excuse the behavior, but if you do choose to work through a problem, understanding the intention and where it came from can give you a much bigger understanding as to how to go about working through that issue. Make sense? All right, now we're going to wrap this up with the current person. Remember, if you're not experiencing issues with your current person, then this is not your reading. What's happening between Libra and the current person? What's the problem? What's the issue? What's going wrong here? Page of Cups. Maybe some of you are just dealing with somebody who, maybe they're younger than you. You could be dealing with somebody in which there's a big age gap. But whether they're younger than you or not, maybe you're just coming to the determination that they just simply aren't emotionally mature enough for you. Tower card. Well, this is not the outcome spread. It's not the outcome spread. So I will say that you kind of feel like this is hanging on by a thread. Hanging on by a thread. There are days where some of you, I'm going to go way out on a limb here, but some of you may have had days here recently where you started packing your shit. You know, that close to where it's already planned out. It's already mapped out. You're already feeling it. And maybe you done went and grabbed a suitcase and started throwing shit in it before you're like, oh, is this the right decision? You know, that type of energy. I'm not saying that it happened exactly like that, but that energy where it's that close, hanging on by a thread, you know, but it's not telling me why. Other than maybe this person's just not emotionally mature enough to show up the way you want them to show up. You may feel like you're just kind of all alone. Even laying in bed together, you may feel like you're laying in bed all alone. You don't have a very positive outlook on this. But you are up in your head, overthinking it, going back and forth. Should I stay or should I go? Should I stay or should I go? Should I stay or should I go? Or should I stay or should I go? So, could be a Sagittarius for some of you. I have Libra, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Sagittarius. Let's see this person's energy, their intentions, their motives, their feelings. Star card, they actually have a positive outlook on the future. I don't think they really fully comprehend how bad it's getting. Not that they don't know there's a problem. I just don't think they know the severity of the problem. I don't know, maybe some of you have just kept most of it to yourself and haven't talked about it that much. Or maybe they just don't believe you if you do. Maybe you can tell them and they just don't take it seriously. I don't know. For those of you wondering whether or not this person has a bunch of other love options, no. Even if they did in the past, maybe you caught them talking to somebody else in the past, possibly for some of you, and you're wondering if that's still happening. No, I don't think so. I don't think they have interest in anybody else, honestly. I just think this person is immature. Very inconsistent and immature. The Seven of Swords is reversed too. So for those of you who this person did betray your trust in the past and you're wondering whether or not they are still doing something, no, I don't think so. I know that's not everybody, but that's specifically to the group of you who dealt with somebody who was doing shady shit in the past. I don't think it's still happening today. But we do have this Devil card here indicating that this person does have some sort of negative entity attached to them. And I got news for you. We all do. We all do. If you think you don't have nothing negative attached to you, you are delusional. We all do. But acknowledging it is the first step to fighting it and shedding those demons. That's what the healing path is all about. You know that, right? Shedding those negative thought form entities that have attached themselves to us. I don't think this person has done much of that, though. And that's why this shows up so strong. Some of you could be dealing with somebody who has some addiction issues. You know, that's a demon attached to you. This demon will crawl up, and it usually happens during childhood, during some sort of childhood trauma or something to that effect. That demon will crawl up in there, attach itself to you, and make it so uncomfortable to live in your skin that you'll do anything in the world to just get a few hours of relief from that pain. And that's where addiction comes in. So, I don't think this person realizes how bad the situation's getting. I don't think so. Again, you either keep it to yourself, or if you do try to talk about it, they don't take you seriously for whatever reason. Could be a Capricorn for some of you. Also have Aquarius and Aries here. Okay. Outcome for September. Outcome for September. For September. Oh. Two more. Chariot. Devil card again in the heart of the spread here. So with the Six of Swords reversed, I'm not seeing you moving on from this. I'm not seeing separation happening. Not seeing you leaving. You ain't going nowhere. I'm honestly kind of feeling like there are honest attempts to try to fix this and try to work on this. There are honest attempts. You're still hanging back and waiting to see if things are going to get better. Page of Swords. I see y'all talking about this. They're still not taking it that seriously, though. That's the thing. That's the thing. They're taking it kind of seriously. They're putting forth a little bit of effort, but if they knew the magnitude of how serious this was getting, they would be putting forth a lot more effort. A lot more. They're putting forth a little bit, but probably not quite enough. So let's see the advice. What's the advice? Queen of Wands. Ace of Swords. Okay, Hierophant. We need to have a conversation. This person needs to know how serious the problem is. I mean, do everything you can to put your feelings into words as unequivocally as you possibly can. You have to be able to make sure that you are explaining it in a way that you can't make it any more clear. And then you get to work on you. It's always going to circle around to that point, especially with the current person. You know that, right? It's always going to circle back around to that same point. If they need to make some changes, you working on you doesn't mean that you're the one in the wrong. It's not what that means. What it means is you see this happen all the time where, for whatever reason, one person in the relationship is getting the finger pointed at them. And usually the person pointing the finger is standing back there with their arms crossed, not working on themselves. Like they seriously have the attitude that this is all your fault. You're the one that causes all these problems, so you're the only one that needs to do the work on this. It don't work that way. Let me tell you what happens if that scenario was to play itself out. See, the primary law is the law of vibration. The secondary law is the law of attraction, meaning you can only attract what vibrates at the same frequency as you. Okay, so your vibration still attracted this person into your life. That's not Rich Lopp's opinion. That's an immutable universal law. So if this person came into your life, it's because the two of you were a vibrational match. Well, the vibration that you're on when you connect with somebody is what manifests between the two of you. So if let's say you attract somebody into your life and this person's a shithead and they're all fucked up and this and that, and you convince them that they need to change. And let's say they do. Let's say they do. And you don't. Well, guess what they do? They make a massive vibrational change and you don't. So you know what that means? Y'all are going to separate anyways because you're no longer a frequency match. That's the truth. Now, that's the truth. That's no theories or opinions or woo-woo or fluffy-duffy shit. That's the straight-up truth. It's quantum physics. That's the way it really works. So at any rate, let this person know how serious the issue is. And let's just go by morals then. Let's just go morally speaking. We don't even need to talk about quantum physics and universal laws. Let's just talk morals. If I'm going to tell you you need to do something, I better be ready and willing to demonstrate the fact that I'm willing to do what I'm telling you you need to do. Because if I don't, then I'm a hypocrite. If I don't, because I got news for you. Ain't no human being walking the face of this earth that ain't got work to do. If you're not glowing and radiating light and levitating and floating, you got inner work to do. If you're still in a thick 3D human skin suit, you got some inner work to do. We all do. So I'm going to tell you hey, you need to make some changes. I'm not going to keep putting up with this bullshit. And as soon as I'm done telling you that, I'll go first. I'm going to work on me. Hierophant, Six of Pentacles. Most of the time, 75% of the time, this will save a relationship. Not always. Not always. You know, there's no guarantee for anything, but that would be the best way to seriously increase the chances of this completely turning around and turning into something completely different. All right. I feel like those were the messages that my Libra friends needed to hear. So I am going to go ahead and end this video here. I am eternally grateful for every last one of you that tuned in, played along, and showed love, support, and positive feedback. That's what makes my job worthwhile here on YouTube, y'all. I greatly appreciate you. Don't forget to check the description of this video if you would like to find out how to schedule a personal reading. And don't forget, the big reading sale is still happening from now until the end of September, where all pre-recorded personal readings are $50 off. And that's to celebrate my 5 years reading tarot on YouTube this September. So don't forget to check the description of this video if you're interested. And I'm out of here now, y'all. I wish you love, luck, light, and prosperity on your journey. Stay blessed.